Hi, I'm Andy, I'm Head of SEO at Reflect. I'm a self-taught SEO. I've also worked in-house, agency side, and I've also run and sold my own e-commerce businesses. I started doing SEO when I was 14 years old, so I've got over 20 years experience now. And I've also spoken on the main stage at Brighton SEO. My aim with the SEO team here is to make sure that we're producing the highest quality work possible, making sure we're best in class, the gold standard, the thing that clients want to come and work with us because they know that we're doing the best possible work. Yeah, so I started marketing really when I was at school, which seems weird, but I was building my own websites when I was 14 years old, and I'm a very competitive person. So once I built those websites, I was then, well, hang on, how do I get them ranking in search results? And why is that one ranking above my site? So it's just natural to me that I was going to be exploring search engine optimization, and I ended up kind of falling into it as an industry because of naturally wanting to be competitive with my own websites and getting them ranking as highly as possible. So after my school days, I'd already been working in the SEO industry for quite some time, really. So it became quite straightforward for me to have evidence that I was able to do the job. And so from an SEO point of view, it was easy for me to go and apply to agencies and get a role. Say it's not so straightforward nowadays. The industry's come on a long way and SEO is much more complicated than it was back then. But I think if I was giving advice to somebody applying in the future, would be to look for, just demonstrate that you're passionate about what you do. I think that's what I had from that young age. So what I like about SEO in particular is that no day is the same. I think you can say that about a lot of jobs, but in SEO in particular, it's a lot about problem solving, solving puzzles, and I like that side of my work. It means that if I'm doing a technical audit for a website, it's never the same job. Content optimization is never the same job. The clients are never the same, the websites are never the same, the type of product is never the same. It's always evolving, and also with the Google algorithms and the way people search, it's always changing, and you can't stay still, and I love that part of it. So my story about starting at Reflect, a bit of a long-winded one, but I used to work in another agency, and at the time I was working part-time as a racing instructor. So I was working down at Brands Hatch, being an instructor. If you wanted to get a race license there, or you're doing experience days there, I was doing that. And it got to a point in my self-employment doing that job that I could swap it around, and eventually I found myself being a full-time instructor. But it worked out quite nicely for me that a couple of months before COVID, one of the people that work at Reflect messaged me and said, we're looking for an SEO manager, are you interested? And I've been instructing for about 4 or 5 years at that time, getting to a little bit, it was getting a little bit not so fun anymore. So it was the right time, and then COVID made sure that it was doubly the right time, and I'd made the right decision. And it's been good fun ever since. I'm also a returnee to Reflect Digital. I worked at Reflect to start with, I think about 3.5 years. After that time, I just wanted to change, wanted to see what was out there. I'd never worked in-house before, 5 days a week, not with the 4-day week. It took about 6 months for me to realise that that wasn't what I wanted, not just for the 4-day week, but also the in-house style was much slower than agency life. I'm very much prefer the results-driven atmosphere of an agency. We need to get things done now and see results promptly. Spoke to Becky, spoke to Paul, spoke to some of the team, and managed to get an interview and say, please take me back, and they did, and I'm very glad about it. And I'm now, well, as of the time I'm talking to you, it's 2 years later and still really loving it. So for me, the future is to create the best SEO team possible, not just for clients in terms of producing the best value, best return, best quality work, but also for my team. I want to make sure that we're hiring and keeping the best talent available, making it a fun experience for them, a learning experience for them, and making sure that we all learn together and build upon what we have, and that means naturally we give the best experience for the customer as well.